Championship, which takes place on Friday, November 24th, where we will see 6 champions crowned, each of whom, of course, walks away with that title belt, but also the $1 million prize. So before we get started, first, just thank you to everybody who's joining us today and taking part in today's call. As you guys know, the PFL World Championship will take place at the Anthem in Washington, D.C., and tickets are on sale right now at Ticketmaster.com if you can join us in person, or if you can't join us there, of course, check it out tonight's opening card on ESPN Plus before we take the main card live on ESPN Plus pay-per-view, where all the action will play out. Now, the 2023 season of the PFL has been nothing short of amazing. Tons of exciting MMA action, incredible upsets, and of course, the PFL's one-of-a-kind sports season format makes it so that all wins are crucial and every fight matters. Now, today, we're going to have the opportunity to speak with 4 of our finalists. We'll have them in 2 different sections here. And first up, we're going to start with our light heavyweights, which will be Josh Silveira and Impa Kasanganay, of course. And then later on in the call, we'll bring in our lightweight finalists, Cassius Clay Collard and the Canadian gangster himself, Olivier Aubin-Mercier. So we'll have it in 2 sections like that. So for media that's interested in asking questions, just raise your hand, of course, with the icon there. And Tawny will be helping assist us in getting to all of your questions that we can fit in the time that we have allowed today. So while we get the questions queued up, let's bring in our athletes. And we'll start with the number 1 seed, Josh Silveira. Josh, of course, just a few weeks out at this point. I imagine the anticipation is really starting to build for you on this huge opportunity. I know you're in the middle of training right now. So what's the energy in the room like for you there at American Top Team?
Man, the energy here is always up. We're always everyone's always trying to get that fight in before the year ends. You know what I mean? So the energy's up. Everyone's trying to get paid. Everyone, is on a mission. Everybody's trying to get a fight in. So the energy is always good over here, man. This is the best gym in the world for a reason. So we're enjoying it, man. We're enjoying camp. Fights November 24th. Fight camps right now. So we're in the moment.
I love it. Now, listen, Josh, as long as you fight, you're going to be asked about your dad. And I know you're just fine with that, right? He's a legend and you're happy to be associated with him. But I wonder, what's his energy like, right? Because he's coached a lot of world champions. He's been in a lot of big fights, but not that involved his son, right? So can you sense like any different energy with him, any nerves, or is he able to keep it, just the way it is with every other fighter in the room?
I do sense some energy. Obviously, he's my father, but man, he's calm as a cucumber, man. This guy, he keeps me focused. He makes me remember that it's a PFL season. We're fighting for the world championship, but we've been on this road for a long time now. The weapons are sharpened up already. They're already ready to go. We're just trying to do some fine, sharpening, and we're ready to go, man. So he keeps me focused. He doesn't keep me antsy. Sometimes, the fight game is a crazy world, man, mentally, physically. So he keeps my head strapped on my shoulders, right?
That's awesome, man. Josh, last thing I would ask for you, your rise here in the PFL has been so fast, right? It's been this incredible ride to the top, but I mean, it's a lifetime of work, right? I mean, we've talked before, you grew up on the mat. So if anybody thinks it's just this time in the PFL where you've risen, no, they're not looking at everything that you've invested. So what would this mean for you, this victory, this championship? Because it's kind of a lifetime of work, right?
Yeah, man, this is a lifetime of work. This goes back all the way to career day in elementary school when they want to be an astronaut or something like a doctor, and I was saying cage fighting before MMA was even a phrase, vale tudo. That's what I was telling people back in the day. Vale tudo, anything goes. That's what I want to be. And it went from being kind of silly to people to becoming holy shit. This guy is actually doing it. So for me, there's always 2 things that I knew was true in life. I knew that no matter what anyone says, it doesn't, who gives a shit, and I always believed in myself. I always believed in my goofy character, my goofy self, and just knew that I was in line for a long time for this moment, waiting patiently, waiting for my moment, waiting for this opportunity, man, helping a lot of guys. You know, before I was here, I was helping a bunch of guys in the UFC, a bunch of guys in Bellator, helping all sorts of guys from around the country. You know, I paid my dues. You know, Conan didn't just sprinkle some fairy dust, and now I'm Peter Pan and I could fly now or something like that. You know, so we're happy, man. We're happy, and it feels right. It doesn't feel like I got here by luck. It feels good.
That's awesome. Awesome. Thanks for the time, Josh. Appreciate it. We'll have some questions from the media coming for you. I also want to welcome in, of course, number 3 seed, Impa Kasanganay. When you talk about journeys, Impa, I mean, you had that nightmare stretch of your career that's now turned into an absolute fairy tale, right? And here you are trying to complete like the movie story ending. So what's your emotion like right now, a few weeks out, man, knowing how great this ride has been to get to this point?
Well, one, thanks for having me on. I'm at peace, man. I respect Josh a lot. You know, I'm doing what I love every day. I'm blessed to be down here at Kill Cliff, blessed to be a fighter, be a warrior. You know, this is what I'm called to do. And, you know, looking forward to claiming this victory, looking forward to fighting one of the best fighters in the world. Like, I'm honored. That's where I'm at. Yeah, like you talk about like a fairy tale movie, all that stuff. And I think this is just my journey that God has for me. So I'm dialed in, ready to go, looking forward to the 24th and just taking it day by day.
I love it, man. As you said, Kill Cliff FC, another incredible gym as well. Now, incredibly, your 5th fight of the year, and I know you welcome the activity, but I do want to ask you, how much of your training camp has been centered around maybe preservation of your physical condition, considering all you've already put in this year, or has it been altered at all? Is this just another training camp for you?
We've been refining, getting better. We just keep moving forward, right? It's been a great year. I love staying active, so it really fits me and fits who I am. You're always intelligent. You know, even from before the first fight this year on the Challenger Series, I was going into a world title fight. It's always been about being intelligent with our training, pushing the pace, taking the daytime we need to rest, we rest. And, you know, it's like not so much has to be altered, but just listen to my coaches guide me to do.
That's awesome. One final reminder to the media, if you have questions, raise your hand. I'll just ask you one last question, Impa. We talked about it. I mean, it's truly one of the most remarkable stories in MMA right now, this journey that you've been on. So, I mean, what would it mean for you to finish it out, you know, to go all the way, to not just get here, but to secure this championship and cap off this year that you've had? What would it mean for you?
No, man, when I get it, it'll just be an affirmation of faith, right? Like 24 years old, step out of accounting, leave college, you know, just praying about it, watching a fight on TV, like, no, I'm called to fight. MMA is a crazy world, right? So it's cool to be there for people. It's cool that I can go after a dream and just have that faith that it's all coming together. Getting this title is an opportunity to change my family's life and all that they've done for me. Parents coming from Congo to here. Yeah, it shows like when I got knocked up by Buckley. Funny enough, I met Josh on that flight on the way to fight Buckley, right? And
Crazy.
I gotta say, like, you know, it's cool how this world works, right? Like, one of the most respectful guys, one of the coolest fighters out there. Always watched him, just seeing him go. And we talked. I don't know how long we talked on the plane for, but we talked for a good while. It was a long flight on the way out there. And, you know, I told people after that fight, like, play that highlight as much as you want, but when I get my first world title, play that highlight too. So it's cool. It's just like those full circle moments, but you're just honored that you get to do this. I was talking to one of my teammates yesterday, and it's like one of those things you think about. You'll be 70 years old, 80 years old, and you look back on this, and only a few people can relate to what you do. Grateful for the media because you guys tell our stories. And that's pretty cool to me, that somebody cares enough about what we're doing on a daily basis. And then it all grows together. You see PFL growing. So it's just a culmination of just like keeping the faith and just saying like, okay, like look where we are now. And also it's a challenge to keep going, do it again next year, and then keep going forward. Like, you know, make a staple. Don't get settled, don't get complacent. Not just, you know, like you don't overlook a guy like Josh. You know, he's a very good fighter, and those are the fights that you want to become a champion. And so it's like we're dialed in. That's what's cool to me.
I love it. Two great stories, two great fighters behind the scenes. For anybody that doesn't know, two of the nicest human beings you'll ever meet. I hate that you guys have to fight, but it's going to be an amazing fight. Let's turn it over to the media now, and Toddy, I'll let you handle things from here.
All right, Gabriel Morales.
Hey guys, how you guys doing? My name is Gabriel Morales from the MMA space. My first question goes to Impa. You won a contract in the PFL Championship Series, and now you're about to fight for $1 million. Like, like it was said before, this is one of the greatest Cinderella stories in MMA right now.
You got muted, my man.
Gabriel, you muted yourself on accident.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
There you go.
I'm so sorry. As I was saying, how does it feel right now that in this moment, in the 24th, you have a chance of fighting not only for a world championship, but for $1 million? So go ahead.
Yeah, so thanks. Nice to meet you. Man, I'm grateful. And I've always wanted to be endowed in and claim that one day I'll be a world champion. It was not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. So to be rewarded with $1 million, that's a bonus, that the cherry on top. It's an awesome opportunity. It's a turning point in my life where I can make the right opportunities to reinvest in myself, reinvest in my team, people around me, the kids at the gym down in Miami, the boxing gym, my teammates here. Like, it's a cool opportunity that I get to be this young in my life, in the first $1 million. And, more importantly, becoming a world champion, right? Money comes and goes. You can make it grow. You can lose it. When you get that title, it's like you always have by your name that you're part of history in a special way, right? There are many millionaires in the world. There are very few world champions. That's what's cool to me. So it means a lot, and it's just an opportunity to make the proper and correct decisions to change my life. I've had times in my life where I had a lot, and I've had times in my life where I've had nothing, whether it's sleeping in my car, being on the farm in the yurt. It's just those things you just kind of like, money comes with it. And I'm grateful to be in an organization like the PFL that provides that opportunity, because I love to fight. Like I said, I'm 29, started training when I was 24, and now I get this opportunity. Just feeling gratitude.
Thank you so much. If I can ask a question to Josh. Yeah. Okay. What's up, man? So you're on a 3-5 win streak. Last year you lost in the playoffs, and this year you are now fight for $1 million. What is different from last year? What is something that you are bringing to the table that's brand new? What is this new Josh right now?
Man, I think, it's just overall, it's just kind of that's just a loss sometimes, man. I don't like saying losses are necessities, but man, they fucking are sometimes, and they make you see things from a different perspective. I don't know, man. Something clicked in me. I'm about to be 31 years old. I've been doing this for a long time. I'm not gonna do this forever. This is a little small piece of my life, really, compared to how life really works. So, yeah, man, I just want to do things correctly, the best way I can. That way, when I'm an old man, and I got grandkids running around and stuff, they could look at me and they could be like, dude, that dude fucking fought his ass off hard. He did whatever he could to give my family a better life. My family came from Brazil and things like that. I'm a first generation American here. So I have that similar mentality that Impa was talking about when family comes from a different background. So, I think it was just the little kid in me kind of grew, and now it's a man in there fighting.
Thank you so much. Can't wait to see you guys scrap up 24th.
Thank you.
Sean Murphy.
All right, guys, can you hear me? My name is Sean Murphy. How you guys doing?
Great.
Good, brother. Good.
Good. First part I'll do for Impa. I'm gonna go off of your fighter profiles I saw on YouTube. So Impa, I noticed you're big into motorcycles, correct?
Yes, sir.
And I'm huge into motorcycles. I went to Daytona Beach Bike Rally. I rode up and down the East Coast. My favorite book is The Art of Zen and Motorcycle Maintenance. That being said, if you do win that $1 million, and like you said, normality of fighters is you take, you put the money out to everybody that took care of you. But if you have to buy one thing, what motorcycle would you buy and why would you do it?
Oh, man, that's a great question. So, all right, Triumph Bonneville. I love Triumphs. I do some work with them as well. Be actually doing a motorcycle ride back from DC down to Florida, probably down to North Carolina first and back. Man, I just love bikes in general. The Bonneville is such a classic bike. The story of it, the history of it, from Ace Cafe in London to what they're building now.
Yeah.
I think bikes just have that different kind of freedom where you can just explore the world. So that bike to me is so iconic in what they've done and everything from Isle of Man to what they're doing nowadays. That bike alone has changed the landscape for motorcycles, and I think it's pretty cool. You know, for me, it's always about burning the ships, and I feel like when you're on a bike, you have to keep it simple. You don't travel more than you need, and you just go take what's yours and move forward.
I feel you, and I love that bike as well. So my two-part is now for Josh. Once again, the fighter profile. The first thing you said was you get one shot at this. And I remember watching that fighter profile, Josh. Your lease came up, and now you're dorming right now, you know, with the family. If you do win this fight, what style are you going to get? A pool in the back of your house? What style of house would you get for your family, and why?
Man,
and shout out to Colton Schultz doing big things at ASU.
oh yeah, bro. Yeah, he is killing it, man. He's such a funny kid too. Man, I don't know what style of house I would get, man. But all I know is I want a big backyard. You know, I want a backyard. I want my dogs to run free. I got a young boy. He's nice and stud American bully, and then I got an old pit bull, and she's going through it right now, man. So you know, I tell her all the time, make it to the 24th. I promise I'll get a house. I'll get you a backyard where you could run, and we'll have a last hurrah. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking about a big backyard for my dogs, family events, things like that. My whole life I've been in apartments and little two bedroom things or one bedroom, and I'm not complaining, man. You know, I love it, but yeah, we're looking for a big house, man. If that's your question, man, we want to get a big house and enjoy ourselves.
Good, well deserved. And guys, good luck on November 24th. I look forward to being there, meeting you, and once again, success and nothing less to both of you.
Thank you, brother.
All right, Amy.
Hi guys, this question is for the two of you. So listen up. I know as media, we always want a highlight reel kind of trash talk line. We're not getting that from you guys, clearly. I'm wondering instead, you know, there's a lot of hate in the world right now. Can you each give each other a compliment that doesn't relate to fighting?
Yeah, I could. I think he has a cool name. Impa Kasanganay. That's a pretty cool name if you ask me. That's what I'm telling everybody. I was like, yeah, I'm fighting the guy with the cool name. Just look at the guy with the cool name on the fight card.
Respect. I'll take that. Great question, Amy. Thanks, Josh. I like your mullet, man. It's clean.
I knew it. I knew the mullet was coming. I knew.
And on top of that, you know, much respect to who you are, who you've been, and it's an honor. It's cool to see like you and your dad doing what you're doing. I think that's a real special bond. So much respect for you, because you know a lot of people, they try to go their own way and they push their family out the way. You know,
yeah.
And I admire that about you. So respect to you and your dad doing this together.
No, I appreciate that, man, and respect to you too. I know you've been on a tough path. You mentioned earlier us running into each other in Abu Dhabi. You know, it's kind of crazy how things connect again. You know, so ever since then, you know, I knew you're a nice guy. It's pretty genuine dude. So appreciate it. Respect.
Thank you.
All right, Ronald.
This is Ronald E. Smith. My first question is to Joshua. We're just hearing this whole call of you guys showing but love for respect for each other. But I just want to know from you, even with all the respect you have for him, how then when you're standing inside the cage with him, you have to turn the switch to fight? Because in the end of the day, the goal is to win it all. So like, how will you be able just to feel that way?
Yeah, man. No, the goal is to win. You're absolutely right. You know, you're absolutely right. I'll give you a good example of how I'm gonna feel on fight night. I'll give you a story about my father. You know, I always give my dad a phone call before big fights. And if you guys don't know my dad, he basically helped Amanda Nunes grow into what she has done. So Amanda Nunes versus Chris Cyborg. I give my dad a phone call. I said, win or lose, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of what you've done. The guy answers me. He goes, fuck that. we don't come here to win or lose. We come here to win. And that's what we're doing. So I'm not going to tell her that. I'm not going to tell her I'm proud of you and all that stuff. So to answer your question, that's the way we think on fight night. That's the mentality we have. We're here to win. I have mad respect. I love it. But yeah, we're not doing this win or lose stuff. You know, we're not this nice person stuff on fight night. You know, we're here to get things done, man. This is the reason why I've been doing this for so long. So yeah.
Love that. And for Impa, question to you, I know you brought up it earlier in the call that this fight means a lot for you, of the potential, what it could do for your family. So I wanted, if I could dive for more in that, what would it mean for your family, the sacrifices they've made, if you win the big one?
Yeah, man. When I claim a victory for my family, it just means that their faith and prayers and sacrifice worked, right? You know, every moment, you know, my parents, my dad got here when he was 24 to the country. Almost she was 19, and they help a lot of their family too. You know, and they've helped a lot of people on their sacrifices, whether they're not eating or so we can eat, whether they're not doing anything for the house so my brother and sister can make their opportunities, right? My brother's a basketball coach at the University of Tennessee now. My sister just got her appointment shift to West Point. And sometimes it was 7 people in a 2-bedroom. Sometimes it was nothing on Christmas. And sometimes it was just my mom working 17-hour shifts at work just so we can have something. So for me, it's like, when I go claim this victory, it's just a way to honor them and all that they've done for me. You know, I'm not fighting to win. I'm not fighting to get it. You know, my faith, it's like, we already won, we fight from victory. And that's what it is. So it's not like, it doesn't have to be, you know, to answer your previous question, it's not like, because I do care about Josh and I think he's a great man, it's like I have a job to do. This is my mission. And, you know, I go there and I go complete that. And that's all it is. It doesn't have to be personal. I'll be my best friend in there. That's it.
Thank you so much to both of you. Have a good one. Can't wait for your fight.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Euro.
What's up, guys? This question's for the both of you. I mean, obviously, there's clearly no animosity between the two, but there was that little ATT versus Killcliff battle. I just want to get your guys' point of view on that.
Me or Impa first?
You can go first, I guess. Yeah.
So I said in previous interviews, you know, I feel bad for Impa that he's part of something that he probably doesn't even understand completely. That's been a history of ATT versus Black Zillions, if you really want to take it back down way back. But of course, man, for somebody like me, this runs deep, you know, for my dad, for Dan Lambert, for Richie, all these guys that I grew up with, man. I grew up with, you know, Mike Brown. You gotta understand, I used to see Mike Brown, you know, kick people with wrestling shoes and stuff back in the day. That was something. That's how back in the day it was, man. These roots run deep. So watching Killcliff become what they become, you know, I appreciate them a lot. You know, make South Florida a hotbed for MMA. You know, this is the spot. You know, there's a bunch of fighters coming out of here. But yeah, man, this one runs deep. You know, of course, this is gonna be one for the gym. And it has a good storyline too. You know what I mean? Extra little spicing on that fight now.
Yeah, so for me, I respect it. I like the history of MMA. I really respect American Top Team and all their fighters and all that they've done, Josh and the rest of the crew and all the coaches, Mike Brown. You know, for me, I'm honored to be here. I was welcomed here to this gym when we were Sanford MMA. Of course, I heard of the Black Zillions and all that stuff. I wasn't here yet. But, you know, watching MMA, watching the history, watching my love for fighting, warrior culture, it's like, it's cool to see 2 great camps go at it. And to fight the son of one of the head coaches, I think that's a big honor. For me, it's like, I don't get distracted by all that. Like, to me, it seems like it's smoke and mirrors to me. I have a job to do. I'm blessed that I get to be a part of it. I'm blessed that I can represent my gym, my team, my training partners. And I just say honor God and do my job. I don't get sidetracked by the, because like you never know in life, right? You could be here today, gone tomorrow. So you got to do it for your family, do it for God, then do it for the people that you love the most. Do it because you love it. And that's what it is. And I think that's what made the rivalry so what it is, because you had so many great fighters who made it deep. They just happened to represent a place. But when you ask them, you dig deeper. Like talking to Josh earlier, he talks about his dad, he talks about his family, he talks about his dogs. Your inspiration doesn't strictly just come from the gym, and that's what's cool. Everybody comes collectively to become something great. And that's what I think both these coaching staffs have instilled to their fighters. It's bigger than you. It's bigger than the gym. It's bigger than yourself. And we're all in one spot, so we're feeding off one another. So I think there's a lot more similarities than differences there. For me, it's like, hey, man, go burn the ships, go take it, move forward, and always respect ATT, because without them, MMA wouldn't be what it is. And without Henry leading this gym and Coach Jones and all that's going on, and Coach Dieter down in Miami, I wouldn't be where I am today. So that's what I get to represent, man. Like, I just get to carry the Kasanganay name as well, and that's all it is for me. Just, stay cold with it and move forward.
Great response by you two. And just had a quick one, last one for Impa. I mean, some people may not know, but you actually played football. And then you made your way over to mixed martial arts. How was that transition like?
Yeah, so I didn't grow up playing sports. My coach was always about like music and stuff, or not music only, but like the arts, and education. So, I studied counting finance in school, and then I played football, but like I didn't really grow up doing it. So my senior year of high school, I started playing football. And then my senior year of college, I started fighting like right at the end. So for me, I've always had like been able to find success, starting things maybe a little later than others. Football was fun, right? Like I see guys that I play with playing in the NFL. I see guys that having families and kids and doing their thing. Some are coaches now. Football was fun. I mean, like funny story, like I had no clue what I was doing. But the first time I ever put pads on, they got stuck, and my coach had to step on my chest just to help me get the pads off. So I laugh, like, you kind of grow in it. College football is probably some of the most fun, a lot of opportunities to grow in life and meet people and connect and just learn life lessons and just getting there on the field and just battling out with different people that I'm still friends with till today. And when I was in my JUCO in New York, like having 9 guys in one room, now we all stay in touch, try to catch up at least once a month. It became a family and a unit, and just so many things I got to learn about myself, and so football brought to me.
All right, Timothy.
Hey, how's everyone doing? Tim with Brandon Media. So the first question is going to go over to Impa. So Impa, at what point did you transition mentally from working in accounting to wanting to become a professional fighter? Because that's a major transition. You have accounting on one side, which could be quite boring, relative to fighting. So, what was that transition like, and when did you make the final decision to actually make that, that leap?
Yeah, so I graduated college. I was doing this internship with this financial technology company in Charlotte, North Carolina. And, I was like, I had an amateur fight, like 3 weeks training, and like, in order to pay for the gym dues, you got to fight. So it's like, whatever, I'll fight. I was grateful I won, I claimed that victory. And then I was talking to my coach, Coach Jimmo, when I was in North Carolina. I said, hey, like, I have an opportunity to get my CPA, MBA, and move forward. Or I believe I can do something special with fighting. And he said, hey, you can do accounting forever, but you can't fight forever. And that's like 2000, late 2017, maybe early 2018. And I was like, okay, cool. Let's go do this. Let's go, go do something special and go get these victories and get my first world title and all that stuff, and just set high goals, expectations to be great. And that's all I did, and never look back.
So you never looked back, even when you went through your lows to the UFC, there was never a point where you were like, man, I should have stayed in accounting.
No, man. Like that Monday that week after I got knocked out by Buckley, man, I was back training that first day of the week. My coach had to kick me out the gym. It didn't matter. Like I just look at you move forward always. There was never look back because things are hard. You just move forward. You got to have the faith and to see yourself where you're going to be. It wasn't a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And look where we are today. And that's all it was. I didn't have to. There's some things hard. Like you make an adjustment. Yeah, like I've opened different businesses, and I'm grateful that I have that now. But you learn from those things. And Josh, alluded to it earlier. Like he didn't really look at that loss as something. It just helped him grow up and to become a better man. And that's what it did for me too, right? All that stuff that I went through and all that. Like I don't want to take the easy route. I would never be here today. And I think that's what you need to become a champion.
Absolutely. God bless. This question for Joshua. Do you prefer Josh or Joshua?
Whatever you want, man. It's all good.
Yeah, we'll call it Josh just to keep it simple. Who's the training partner at ATT? Because we all know ATT has a bunch of just savages and monsters just lurking around in there. Who really pushes you the hardest? Not who's your favorite training partner, but who like really pushes you the hardest to you feel like makes you better? Who gives you hell, but you know in the end, improves you the best?
Man, there's a list of people who give me hell, man. The list goes on and on. But names off the top of my head that's been helping me for this camp and a lot of the season as well. We have the champ Johnny Eblin. We got some rounds in yesterday. That's always a blessing to get rounds with him. He's an amazing fighter, man, Johnny Eblin. And then we have Austin Vanford, which is a damn tank. He's been helping me a lot. Kind of similar body frame to Impa. If you think about it, bulky, strong. Don Rasta has been helping me out too. I'm naming a bunch of Bellator guys, huh?
Yeah.
Don Ross. Don Rosa's helped me. I think I'm going through the American guys first because it doesn't end. Then we have a bunch of Russians too. Me and his name's Ali the Wolf, the Gray Wolf. He has this little shaggy hair. I don't know his last name, but he fights in the UFC. He's always like an issue to deal with all the time because them Dagestanian guys, they move, they fight hard. I used to work out with Ikram a lot. He hasn't been around. Ikram, he just got a win right now in the UFC. Ikram, his only loss is to Chimaev. I trained with him a lot.
He just fought Saudi, right?
Yeah, he just fought. Yeah, he just fought, but he hasn't been around for a while. But me and him go a lot when he's around. Amazov, another Bellator guy. I don't go with him as much because he's a little lighter, but we'll get some good wrestling goes. And then you have some heavier set guys, man, that I go with a lot, man. Thiago Santos, Christoph Jalko. The list goes on and on, man. But these are the guys off the top of my head that I'm dealing with on a weekly basis.
Yeah, it seems like Thor, just the whole list, the whole gang of just killers over there. So iron sharpens iron. So I know.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. We love it over here. We love it. It's the Shark Tank.
Man,
we love it.
It's good to hear, and I end it there. And good luck, and we'll see you soon.
Yes, sir.
Patricia.
Sorry.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Patricia. Nice to meet you guys. Impa, as a fighter, you're very accustomed to overcoming physical challenges. Can you talk about a non-physical obstacle you faced that taught you lessons in perseverance and resilience that will help you in your fight in Washington?
So you're saying asking one that's not related to fighting, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so lived on a farm for about a year, and waking up in the morning, feeding the cows, corralling them. It's like just having that consistency, right? On the days you feel like and the days you don't, right? Like fighting a blessed career, you love it. You get to do what you love, right? You don't fight in underwear for a living, pretty much. But man, being on that farm, having 10, 12 cows, one runs through a fence, one jumps over a fence, having to hunt down pythons, you start learning like a lot about life and just taking care of things that definitely rely on you. So it was cool living on that farm because they realized in order for it to go, somebody has to love every animal on that farm, from the cows, the sheep, the pigs, chickens. They need us to keep them alive. And it doesn't matter if it's the middle of the night and during python season, the python's coming down, or you have coyotes trying to kill the chickens. You got to do your job. So just living on that farm is with that work ethic and just that love that you grow for things that rely on you. So that challenge definitely taught me in my life.
Thank you so much. That's amazing. My second question is for Josh. Josh, you've talked about how martial arts transformed your life before. Can you share a specific moment in your journey that shaped your perspective on this sport?
Well, I remember a key moment in my career when I knew that I was gonna be destined for something on the big stage. I knew I was heading in the right direction. Um, I'm in Virginia Beach. I signed up for junior nationals. This is NHSCA wrestling. I'm about 16 years old. I'm a Florida boy who took second in state. Don't really know much what I'm going to get out of it. You know, I started wrestling my sophomore year, so I'm about a year deep in wrestling. Um, and I win my first match. I'm like, all right, cool. You know, wrestled like a state champ from Utah. You know, I'm wrestling the best kids in the country. And then I went, you know, we're in the quarterfinals. I win the second match. Only until I got to the semifinals, I'm like, holy crap! Like this Florida boy that, you know, took second place. I'm not supposed to be here. I beat this guy from Colorado. Excuse me, New Jersey, which Jersey is a very tough state for wrestling. And now I'm in the finals with this guy named Phil Sprinkle. He wrestles for Lock Haven. That's where he wrestled in college. It's a Pennsylvania boy. And if you don't know anything about wrestling, Pennsylvania is the hotbed for wrestling. Um, and I'm like, holy shit, I'm in the junior national finals. And I didn't even believe in myself, you know? And I knew I was going to be a fighter and stuff, but this is just solely for wrestling, you know? Um, I end up I end up spraining my tibia or my fibula, whatever it's called, down by my ankle, and that sprains really bad in the match. And long story short, I end up winning the match, you know, by like a point or two. And I remember my coaches yelling at me like, "You're a national champion. Like that's you forever." And I remember thinking to myself, I'm never gonna go back to what I used to be. I'm gonna move forward from this day on. This national title is going to literally bring me into getting a scholarship in college to um you know, from there I'm gonna wrestle the best guys in the country. I'm gonna, you know, I created a dream, you know, on top of the MMA dream. But that was a really defined moment for me that and I remember crying on the phone to my dad, and he was tearing up, and my mom was crying her eyes off, you know. This little Miami kid, you know, foreign ass parents, started wrestling a year ago, and now he's a national champion wrestling these farmer boys from Pennsylvania. You know what I mean? It was just a dream come true, and it really elevated me. Ever since that day, you know, I got offers from colleges. It really blossomed my my um, my athletic career as a student athlete. You know, so that was a good key moment. I hold it dearly to my heart always.
Thank you guys so much for sharing those stories with me. I really appreciate it.
For sure. Thank you.
Jay Christian.
What's up, y'all? Jay Christian Gary, Focus Fights Audio. How are you doing? And hello, John. How are
I
you
know
doing
this
yourself?
guy. I know this guy.
I see. Hey, I just wanted to ask one question for each and then a question to the both of you. First of all, to Impa, obviously people remember you for when you got knocked out by Joshua Buckley. I mean, it sucks that people will remember you for that.
Buckley.
Oh, yeah, Jaquan. Yeah, I know. Jaquan Newmancer Buckley. And people remember that not too long ago, you ended up getting released after that. You went 1-1 after that fight. But considering the fact that 11 UFC fighters have been cut by that promotion, I mean, and you were obviously a part of that list at the start of this year, what would you say to, if not at least all of those 11 fighters, but to some of those fighters that are in the same situation as you were a year ago that would want to improve their career? It's not going to the PFL, you know, continuing their career elsewhere.
Yeah, I'd say one thing that Robbie Lawler told me, he said, all you gotta do is focus on getting better right now and keep your faith. Everything that you went through sort of build perseverance and endurance, and that's what's gonna help you, right? Sometimes you pray to become a champion, but you don't understand that the things you have to go through are challenging, right? Maybe you said, I want to be super successful in life, and you've been putting the work in, and you've been diligent, and then some things didn't shake out the way you wanted to, and then you got cut or whatever. Don't look at it as a failure. Look at it as a stepping stone. And that's all I can tell them, right? Because it might not be easy for a day, easy for a month, but that's nothing compared to a lifetime. And just stay dialed in, get right back in the gym. Don't feel sorry for yourself. Listen, right? Refine yourself. Go back to the coaches and just have them be honest with you and break it down. And then one day you'll get your championship moment, whether it's in fighting or in life. But never let that moment defeat you, right?
Understood, especially considering the fact that you might not know. I mean, obviously, you're fighting in $1 million final. One of these days, some of these fighters could end up fighting for their own $1 million, be it in that cage or in life, like you said.
Right.
Now, to Konita, of course, I know that it's funny that people are just now starting to call you Konita when we basically helped that boost in the atmosphere first. But when it comes down to your fight career, obviously people remember you more for being, in your dad's spotlight. People know you, obviously, as you said, for being a sparring partner. But what would you hope that this fight, whether you win or lose, what would you hope that this fight would help to, build as far as future success goes, to where you're not a sparring partner for future opponents or a sparring partner for future fights?
Oh, so you're asking me how is this fight gonna affect me, win or lose for the future, basically?
I mean, yeah, as far as future preference goes, to where you're no longer just a training partner.
So, man, so to answer your question, man, MMA to me is something I found and I loved at an early age. A lot of people go through their life and they find things they love when they're 40, they're 30, they're 50. I found it at a very young age. MMA to me is my life. I love it. My biggest nightmare is not doing this. So, we're here to win, the fight, obviously, that's what I train for. But this is my life, man. I love this stuff, man. So the future is gonna be me just doing this. You know what I mean? It's very simple. Sometimes I think, holy crap, I'm not gonna do this forever. Hopefully I could find something else I love or something else I can mesh into well by the time I'm done doing this. But right now, man, I'm just focused. I'm about to be 31. I would like to fight till I'm about 42. I know that's pushing it, but 42 is a nice age. I think I could get some good quality fights, man. Maybe towards the end, do some celebrity fights. I don't know, man. That seems like that's the path everyone's taken. But PFL is a great organization. It seems like they're only going up. So I'm excited, man. I'm excited for this $1 million, and I'm excited for the next 10 years of my life, fighting MMA. So yeah, man, to answer your question, I just love this, man. Everything I do in my life is associated with MMA. Whether I go eat somewhere, I ask myself, how is this going to better me for my career? Or I go somewhere, or anything I do, there's an MMA tied into that question or that statement. You know what I mean? And that's just how I live my life.
Understood, Hermano, understood. And I get what you mean about, turning 31. I got a birthday coming up as well. Getting past the age of 30 just ain't easy. But
no.
But still, though, my final question is for the both of you. When it comes down, I mean, I wouldn't just say toward this fight, because as y'all basically stated before, y'all are friends. Y'all were friends before this fight. Y'all are probably gonna be friends after this fight. But what would you basically say to, I mean, it don't have to be friends out of the cage. What would you basically say to that one person just to, calm them down, ease their stress? What would you basically say to that person just to let them know that things are going to be all right? I mean, I know that sounds like a loaded question, but I'm sorry for asking that,
Real quick, let's let Impa go first, because he's got to jump, if you don't mind. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, respectfully to Josh, we don't talk all the time, right? We see each other at fights and stuff like that, and that's what's cool. What I like about him, he's one of the most respectful people I've met. He always, most people had an idea that it'd be he and I in the final, so we've seen each other enough, right? But I go back to that airplane ride, and the guy that I met on that ride, it's cool to see a consistent man doing that. It's good to see a guy that's with his father doing that. Very, very close to my family and my dad as well. So I respect him. Just saying, you always bring your best. That's what warriors do, right? That's what people do. And before and after the fight, there's respect. Whether we were best friends or we're friends in the industry and have respect for each other, I just tell anybody who's in that situation, just like still bring your best. You'll never have any regrets, right? So focus on claiming this victory. That's what I'm here to do. That's what I'm gonna do. And I just want the best for this guy's life. Like, I don't have to hate him. I don't have to wish the negativity on him. I pray for him. I prayed for him before I knew him, or before I knew we were going to fight each other. And I pray for him after and during this camp as well. Life is, we do all these interviews, we do all these fights, we do all this media, we cut the weight, we do so many things, right? And so much of your life is wrapped in MMA that it can become an idol. It can become the one thing that defines somebody. But to somebody like, especially Josh, he's a very artistic, very eclectic guy. There's so much more to him than this, and I think that's what also makes him a special fighter. He's not a goofball, but he has his personality. He said, he talked about earlier, he's goofy, but just you don't lose yourself based on a win or a loss. Just remember who you are always, and that's what I would tell anybody. So much respect to him. I'm honored. Thank you, Tani, and everybody for your time today. I do have to have a commitment, but it's been a blessing. So enjoy the rest of the interview with Josh. Much respect from taking time out of training. I'll see you on the 24th, and man, it's an honor.
That's deep, brother Salobon. That's deep. Konita, you got a response?
No, man.
Thanks,
so if I had a quick response, if I had something to tell someone, always believe in yourself, no matter what, right? But believe in what you believe in is true. What people don't think is true doesn't mean it's not true. What you believe in is what you can make happen. And always have two options in life. Don't ever settle for that one option, man. Always stay open. Always stay, I don't know, man, open-minded to changes in your life, man, because you never know what could happen. And nice and short for you guys.
Understood. Good luck on Black Friday, y'all.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
No problem.
All right, guys, appreciate it. I know Impa and Josh both have to run. They had those other appointments. I know we had a few questions left. Apologize for that. Gentlemen, we appreciate your time, and we look forward to seeing you on November 24th. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Appreciate it, John. Thank you. That was great. Tani, you too. Thank you, Tani.
Thank you, Tani.
See you guys.
See you.
See you guys. See you guys in Washington, D.C. All right. With that said, we'll shift on to the second part of our afternoon, which will be to bring in the lightweight finalists. My understanding is at this time, we're still having some difficulty connecting with Clay right now. So we're going to continue working on that. In the meantime, we do have the Canadian gangster here, Olivier Aubin-Mercier. So just like with the first half of this, if you got some questions lined up, just make sure you hit the raise hand icon on there, and Tawny will get to those questions for you in just a moment. And while we get those all lined up and organized, ready to go, we will welcome in Olivier Aubin-Mercier, the defending champ, who's trying to go back-to-back. He's 9-0 in the PFL, just this insane win streak. OAM, we'll just ask you, I mean, what's the key, man? This run in the PFL has been incredible, man. What do you point to the direction of why this has just been so great for you?
I don't know, like hard work, I would say. Something like this. I think that's the most intelligent answer I can say.
Well, it's certainly paying off for you. I mean, you talk about the hard work. I mean, you've talked about how challenging the schedule was. I mean, anybody that's won this thing has talked about how tough it is, but to do it twice, the physical toll, the sacrifices that you have to make, but yet you are here. So I guess, what's the biggest lesson you think that you've learned through this journey that maybe people that want to mimic what you can do and what you've done, what they can do? I mean, how do you survive these grueling back-to-back seasons?
You have to train smart, I think that's one of the things that most people do when they come in a PFL. They don't train smart, and they go a little bit crazy, and they think they have this idea that that's what they want, fight 4 times a year. I want to fight all the time. Yeah, sure. Go in the PFL and see if you really want to fight all the time. And tell you the truth, if you do like training camp like you do in the UFC, you're dumb as fuck. So I think that's one of the thing. You have to train smart. And I talked to a lot of fighters in the PFL, and they all say the same thing. You cannot spar like you used to.
That's why he's the Canadian gangster. He keeps it straight for you there. You got Clay Collard as an opponent. He's going to be aggressive. He's going to want to strike. Is that exciting for you as an opponent, or is it just another guy with another set of challenges for you?
Yeah, no, it's fun. I mean, you have a strange style. A lot of people, he's really game. Great personality too. I like the guy. The guy is crazy. His family is crazy too. They almost fought one of my friends 2 fights ago. And so it's interesting matchup. I like it. I really like it. I was hoping it was going to be in the final. And he had a hard path to get there, and I'm happy for him.
Absolutely. Well, hopefully we'll have Clay here shortly. We're still trying to connect with him, but I'll remind media, if you want to speak to Olivier, make sure you hit the raise hand button, and Tanya will get to you just a moment. Last thing I have for you, Olivier, I mean, you've teased a little bit that this could potentially be it for you. I mean, have you made that decision yet? Is this it, win or lose, or do you have to wait until November 25th and wake up and see how you feel after that?
No, well, for sure, I'm going to take a big break. That's there's no question about that. I don't think you're going to see me next year. I mean, if PFL want to come in Montreal and they want to give me some good money and have some friend of mine on the card, yeah, for sure, I'm going to fight one last time. But other than that, I have no interest in doing the next season. I have no interest of doing another fight. I mean, I'm tired. I want to pass time with my family. And that's what I plan to do.
Fantastic. Well, potentially the final opportunity to see Olivier Aubin-Mercier compete, unless the PFL goes to Canada. I bet we'll find a way to get him on the card. So we will now turn it over to the media, and we'll turn things over to Tanya to get things started.
All right. Neil, did I see your hand up?
Yes, thank you. Olivier, you mentioned you can't train the same way as in the PFL as you do in the UFC. How often do you spar these days, and how does that compare to your time in the previous promotion?
I don't spar. I don't spar anymore. So I would say I was sparring maybe twice a week, maximum 3 times a week when I was in the UFC. But now I don't. I didn't do one sparring this year.
Thank you.
Ronald.
What's up, champ? I got 2 questions for you. Oh, Clay has always said, even when he first came to the PFL, that he believes he's the best in the world. And while you showing your respect to him, how's it feel that going for an opponent who's looking at you while as a champ saying that I could take that away from you?
I don't know. I didn't really ask my question. That question too. Like, I have no thinking about that. I don't really care. I mean, if you feel he's the best in the world, I mean, good for him. It's just too bad that he never won the tournament, I would say.
And for my second question for you, just a follow-up on what you said, feeling that you need to take time off after this is all said and done. When did it click for you that you started feeling this way? Like, when did that stuff come up of that you wanted to do that?
Last year, 3rd fight.
Thank you so much, man. See you in your fight.
Thank you.
Randy.
Hi, everybody. Olivier, you had 12 fights in 5 years in the UFC. You've had 9 fights in 2.5 years in the PFL. And you mentioned a little bit talking about the grind of the PFL. Can you dive deeper beyond just sparring, like in terms of your dietary restrictions, your day-to-day life? How has being in a fight camp basically year-round been different than being in the UFC over that span?
Well, first, you have to do like a diet that is fun. You cannot do like a really strict diet. If you do that, you're going to get crazy. So I have an easy diet, you know. I go maybe crazy 1 or 2 weeks, and then I just go back to my diet, which is like I said, really easy. So it's not mentally draining to do that. Maybe the hardest thing is not to take any alcohol. And for the training, so it's really fast, and I do start really slow. I did some mistake last year. I start really fast. I think in my second and third fight, and I got hurt. So this time I really decide to start slow, and didn't get. I got a little bit injured in the second fight during the training camp, but I didn't get any other injury during this year. So I'm really happy with that. Other than that, that's pretty much it. You know, I do a lot more conditioning these days, since you have to be careful not to hurt yourself.
Awesome. I wish you the best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
Euro.
What's up, Chad? I just want to say, in 2022, the first year you became the PFL champion, all of your wins except the finale against Stevie Ray, they all came by decision. And this year you won all of them so far, of course, but 2 out of the 3 have actually come by finish already. Did anything change, or just the Canadian gangster more hungry than ever?
Less hungry than ever. That would be the thing. I guess I have no pressure, you know. And to be honest, like last year, I had some really tough competition too. I had Manfio. I had the two last champs. So it was hard, and Alexander Martinez was a tough guy too. So I don't think a lot of things change. I think right now I'm really more. For sure, I'm a better version than last year, but I think, you know, KO and finishes happen a little bit by luck, I would say. So I think this year it will happen, but like, at the end of the day, like, this decision is almost better than a KO. You know, KO can have some luck in there, but the decision for sure better than the guy.
Has it been like seeing all this growth coming out of Canada and MMA?
Well, it's nice, and it's nice to be part of that too. You know, I think GSP bring UFC in Quebec and Canada, and I do think I bring PFL in Canada, Quebec too. Like, you know, 2 years ago, a lot of people were asking about UFC, and now everybody is telling me about the PFL. So it's a really nice change, and it showed that I'm a little bit useful for the company, you know.
Awesome. Thank you for your time, and good luck.
Brandon.
Hello, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Brandon Padonis. I'm coming from the DMV MMA Insider. How y'all doing today? Can y'all hear me?
Bad.
Excellent. I can't wait to be covering this event. I came to see you guys in DC, the first PFL event that y'all had. I think it was the second show, watching you guys perform, and the District of Columbia was the greatest, one of my top shows to ever watch. I am very thankful to see that you guys are bringing so much audience to professional MMA fighting, and I can't wait to see that you guys shooting for that $1 million prize. My first 2 questions, I only got 2, and I'm gonna just to ease up on the pressure. Coming to DC, what foods are you looking for to eat?
What's the good food in DC?
Is there anything that you've seen, or have you visited the area before in the past?
Yeah, I did visit the area. The area is really nice, but the thing with those area, it's really expensive for a restaurant to rent those places, and when it's expensive, the food take a hit, you know. So I'm gonna have to look a little bit deeper in the.
Have you tried mumbo sauce?
I tried
DC. You gotta come to DC. If you come to DC, you gotta try the mumbo sauce. They have the fried chicken. It's a DC thing. They have this mumbo sauce. Is the best sauce. You got to try it. All right. And I got one more
You have
question for
to
y'all.
send it to me. You have to
Yes.
send the name to me, right?
Man, no problem. Shit. I might as well pick some up when I come to the event. I might just got you. Yes, sir.
Let's let him make weight first. Let's let him make
Yes,
weight
sir.
first,
No
and then
problem.
afterwards.
No problem.
Have you been there? I was like, no, I'm trying to make weight.
one more question. Now with the fights, everybody has certain styles. I want to know what is something that about your style that most people kind of overlook. Something that maybe you're not known too much for. Something, yeah. What? Any surprises coming out?
I don't know. I would say my leg locks. My leg locks.
Ooh, working hard, huh?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I love all the leg lock series. Now, with your leg lock series, once you get to your finishing position, you have a lot of options from there, huh? From sweeps,
Yeah.
passes.
I like the double lock, but yeah.
What's your favorite leg lock? Ace?
I would say inside leg lock is good.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Thank you so much for your time, my brother. God bless you.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you.
Gabriel.
Hey, what's up, Olivier? Hey, man. So right now you're on a 9-fight win streak. You know, you're literally solid down the road in the PFL Championship Series. I know you're a little bit cool and collected right now. So what's the difference between this fight and last year? Did you feel a little bit of a pressure, or is it just another walk in the park for you?
Yeah, no, I feel no pressure at all, and I think that's a good thing for me last year. The money would have changed my life, and the belt would have changed my life. This time is just a bonus, so no, I don't feel any pressure. I have some doubt for sure, but I do this like for myself. So I mean, I feel great this year. I really feel great. I'm looking forward to being vacation though.
And then my next question, I know you said you're looking to take a break. By any chance, would you happen to tell us how long would that break be for? Is it just one season, or are we looking for a really long extended break?
Oh, like I said, it depends. If PFL come in with a good offer, I may take a year. But if they don't, and if I don't like it, and if I really like my new life, I won't come back. You know, I won't put I won't put any pressure on myself. I mean, I accomplished what I had to accomplish in the sport. I'm happy right now, so that could be it. You know, I would have liked to fight one last time in front of my people, but if it doesn't happen in PFL, I'm gonna find a way to do it by myself. You know.
Okay, that's perfect. Thank you so much for taking your time, and can't wait to see you out there, man.
Thank you.
All right, we're gonna do Sean and then Mills, and then we'll be done. Sean, you're on mute.
There we go. Yeah, the gangster. I've been watching you for a while. I had 2 questions for you, but I'm only going to go with 1 question to get everybody else involved. The Stevie Ray fight was great. Miranda, CC versus Shane Burgos with all those leg kicks. That being said, though, hockey players in Canada, the dictation, the words they say, what is that like? Have you ever dealt with a hockey player in Canada growing up having to fight them?
I can't hear you really well.
So my question is, growing up in Canada, growing up in Quebec, hockey players, are you a fan of the hockey players in Canada or no?
No, I'm not. I'm not a fan of hockey, unfortunately. But I never had really a lot of time to watch other sports. So maybe I'm gonna do it this year. You know, start trying to watch sport. I never watched football. I never watched hockey. I never watched any freaking sport but MMA and boxing. So yeah, it could be interesting this year to start watching some sport.
All right, gangster. Yeah, the break is definitely well deserved. I success and nothing less. All right.
Yeah.
Take care.
See you.
All right, Mills, finish us off, please.
How's it going? It's MMA Locker Room, part of Pub Sports Radio. How you doing today, gangster?
I'm good, and you?
Good. Just want to ask you something, man. With Canada MMA being on a rise, with you leading the way, and other fighters coming up like Mike Malott, Jeremy Kennedy, Jasmine Jurdavicius, if you were to give your nickname to one of the up-and-coming Canada fighters, who would it be?
To give my nickname?
Yeah.
That's I would say that's a choice of the fighter. I don't think they want my nickname. But right now, like I have a lot of training partner that I think they're gonna be really good in mixed sport, Fred Duprat. So if one of them want my nickname, they can have it, you know.
Got it. And then one more thing. I spoke to you last time, media. We were talking about former champions and other divisions. And, you said if you guys were to face off, you would probably be a big underdog to some of them. With that being said, I mean, if you were to repeat this tournament, I remember hearing you earlier on saying that, you might consider taking some time off next year. But I mean, I think right now, this is the time for you to make your mark on MMA. How would you feel about competing in the tournament again next year with all these new acquisitions that we're going to be acquiring from Bellator?
Potentially.
Like if mentally I was more there, I would do it, to be honest, but I'm not there, I'm really fucking tired. I don't want to do it. The sad thing about that, it's I've never been that good, in training. I think I'm the best and that I ever been, and so that's too bad, but that's part of life, that's maybe the only thing I will tell myself when I'm older, that maybe I should have gone a little bit deeper. But I mean, if I feel like it, I will. If I don't feel like it, I won't.
Got it. And last one for me. You gave me a list of your favorite gangster movies of all time. I still remember those. But now I just need a few names of some of your favorite gangster actors who actually played some movie roles.
Gangsters, actors. Who's the best one? I think De Niro, and Pacino, I think I have to say those two. Denzel Washington was really good too. So I would say those three. They are so good actor that I would say those three. Yeah.
Got it, man. It's time to start.
Do you have another idea?
I like Pacino, De Niro. I would even say Denzel Washington for the role that he played in Training Day.
Exactly. That's why I said Denzel. So Training Day was so good. I watched it when I was a kid, and I watched it again recently, and I was like, oh my God, okay, I remember why they talked about that,
All right, Olivier, I got one for you since we're talking about gangster movies. Have you seen this one, though? If not, I definitely recommend you watch it. Boys in the Hood and Menace to Society.
I have to watch it. I have to. That's with Ice Cube, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I have to watch it.
Got it, man. No worries, man. Rooting for you, man. Can't wait to see you put on a showcase out there in DC.
Thank you so much.
All right.
All right. Pretty soon he's going to have time to watch sports. He's going to have time to watch more gangster movies because he's about ready to wrap it up. But Olivier Aubin-Mercier, the defending champ, going for it twice again. Thanks for the time today, sir. We certainly appreciate it.
Cool. Can I go home now, or?
You can go home now. You're tired, and you're tired of talking to the media. You can just sign off.
So I'm the only one who came in. What's up with that?
We're going to reschedule with Clay. We're going to try to reschedule. He was having some technical difficulties.
Yeah, sure. Okay, see you.
I have a feeling if we reschedule with Clay, Olivier doesn't want to get back on the second time.
Yeah.
All right. Well, guys, we appreciate everybody that joined us today. Thank you for the time. Of course, the 2023 PFL World Championship. It's Friday, November 24th. Again, the event is at the Anthem in Washington, D.C. So if you need tickets, go to Ticketmaster.com. Otherwise, join us for the opening card on ESPN Plus or the main card live on ESPN Plus pay-per-view. We'll try to get something rescheduled with Clay. We've got some more of these planned in the future. We'll keep you all posted. Keep it a lookout in your email inbox.